welcome to our February 23rd Living Positive San Antonio Facebook Live. I don't know what we're doing for a second. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not going to really talk about COVID tonight. I want to kind of talk about a personal story and let people know who may be in a similar situation how to reach out for help. At 5:45 on February 23rd, 2020, a year ago today, I found my best friend, probably my very best friend I've ever had, painting his bathroom. With the help of his husband, Noe, we cut him down. I did CPR and mouth to mouth, called 911, and I did everything I possibly could to save this man because he always did it for me. The last time I had an issue with my kidney, he was there every day to make sure that I was eating right, drinking right. If I was in pain, he took me to the hospital. His name is Israel Hernandez. I wasn't really aware that he was having any issues, but he was. And so I'm just going to say to anybody out there that if you have any thoughts of committing suicide, I guarantee you don't want to put anybody through the pain of trying to revive you and not succeeding. Because that is probably the most painful thing a human being can go through. Even today, I think that there should have been something else I should have been able to do to save Israel's life. So if you have any thoughts of suicide, I ask that you call Suicide Prevention Lifeline. And I will post this on our Facebook page so that you'll have the number. The number is 800-273-8255. And again, reach out. If not to this lifeline, reach out to a friend, reach out to family. If you're part of this group, reach out to us. You can talk to me, you can talk to Marc, you can talk to Santiago, Leo, any of us. Please, do not take that final step off that cliff. Reach out to somebody. And continue to live, but I guarantee you, life is more important than death. Tonight, who is introducing our guest tonight? I guess it's going to be me. We have a young lady from Lea, is that right? Lea is here to talk to us from FFACTS Clinic. She's going to kind of fill us in on some of the programs they have there and some things they do. So if you're ready, come on up.
Yes, we're all going to have a question, but tell us about yourself and tell us about where you work at.
So, FFACTS Clinic is one of the agencies here in San Antonio that receives part of the Brian White grant. Some of the other agencies of interest in San Antonio like art, on field, like down the street from us. There's the San Antonio AIDS Foundation.
I'm sorry, we're having little mic problems. Can you speak up a little bit, please? It's not really working. No. Okay. Can you hear it? Go ahead and speak.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a delay.
Look at it more.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I didn't realize I had to use my outdoor voice. Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Start from the beginning?
No, I mean, if you want to, yes.
Okay. Well,
You can yell. Don't be shy.
so, let's see. Some services that we offer. We can do an assessment. I know we do receive part of the grant for Strong Arm, which is a service for anyone who identifies as male, over 18, and has a substance use issue. You have direct access to therapy. Oh my God.
No, but I mean, you can still hear from here.
Oh, okay,
That's why I was like, you speak a little louder here.
all right, because I didn't memorize any of this.
It's okay.
How did you read it? All right. So if you guys have like any questions, then
If it, let's say I'm with another agency, let's go with ARC or BEAT, whatever, and I'm not happy with them, can I go to you, or what is the process? Do I have to wait a certain time?
so if you ever wanted to get like a second opinion, or just like see a different provider for any reason, anywhere, all you need to make sure is that you have proof of positivity whenever you call or go to schedule your appointment. You need to, if you call to make an appointment, then just bring proof of positivity with you to your first appointment, and then on the back end, we'll work out the details on getting like access to your other information. And that goes for any agency. If you're at FFACTS and you want to switch to ARC, it would be the same. It wouldn't matter. It would be for any agency, actually even outside San Antonio. If you were going to leave, like if you wanted to go to California, go to New York, or wherever else, you would just bring proof of positivity with you, and then you'd be able to establish. But of course, if you can always, if you have further questions about that and that whole process, you can always ask us.
I have a quick question. What if they don't have proof of them being positive? But okay, let me ask you this way. If someone came from, say, California, they didn't bring the paperwork, they don't have proof, and they go to their agency, how do they go about it?
So they could get like a free HIV test that would show that they are positive.
And you guys do give those tests out?
The FFACTS Clinic doesn't do that, but if they had questions on how to do that, like I could refer them to ARC, because I know ARC has hours for that. There are I have it posted on my wall at work, other agencies that also provide free screenings for HIV and other medical stuff, yeah.
Okay, and ARC is an Alamo Area Resource Center, right? And that's actually pretty much like across the corner from you, kind of like, I don't know, it's like down the street, not even like a block away. So that's good. But what? All right, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. I mean, all this stuff should already be. Y'all should already have it. Well, not you, but if it's in errors, you don't have access to it.
So if someone is new to the clinic, like they've never been seen by any social worker or provider at our agency before, we don't have immediate access to that. Like we would have to get all like particulars of information, and then sometimes even it takes like assistance from an outside agency to unlock it. So it makes things faster if someone is able to bring some kind of proof of positivity. And if someone had questions on how to get access to that, like if, you know, like they were homeless or their agency from before isn't responding like to the request transfer to us, you know, we haven't gotten anything, like it does make it easier to bring it in by hand, but if you don't have it, you know, all these other factors that might be in play, then you could definitely ask us to try, because we want to help you and not have all these other, like not being able to access your areas profile, whatever, be it a factor in when we can help. Because we want to help and then worry about getting access to put documentation in later.
Got you.
And if we have proof of positivity, then it's like, okay, we can hold off on it when there's no in, that's not the most important thing.
So you're pretty much saying it's best to have a copy for yourself, just in case something like this happens.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree. I think it's better to have one. I mean, I think I still have my original one from 4 years ago.
Yeah, and honestly, because it's really sucky that technology has a lot to play. Like, say, like, if our fax machine was broken, I mean, we wouldn't be able to receive stuff for like a week. Like, thankfully, our agency has 2 ways to receive faxes, but like, if another agency's fax machine is broken, or there's like a power outage somewhere, and then that delays us getting a fax, you know, like,
Right.
all these things could be coming into play, and, you know, it's not something that anyone has control over, but it's like kind of little shortcuts to try to get help first and then go through the bureaucratic stuff later.
Wayne, did you have a question?
Lea, what I wanted to ask, so to kind of follow up with Santiago, so I come in, I want to go with your clinic or with you. I don't have the documents like you're saying. The smarter decision on my part as a consumer and a client looking for a new care team. It would be smart of me to fill out the share, what is the name of the share form that you guys use? It's used universally on areas.
So.
Where you can check, make sure that you check
all.
share all,
Yes.
so that everybody can get in and see that, right?
So, I have come across people who have gone through that list and they're like, I don't want this agency to know my insurance. And I explain that we only send out information if it's required. Like, if you need like a referral and it's a thing that only the state has, I'm not gonna send your information to ARC, you know? But even if someone were to hit like share, it's okay to share, that doesn't give us immediate access to the full quality.
So, will you define areas for us? Because I think what's happening a lot of times is us in the room know this and a lot of people in the community don't know it.
Yeah.
What is areas, what was it set up for, and what does it do? What is it supposed to do?
So, I forget what the acronym for ARIES stands for exactly, but it's like it's a database. It's an online database that has like user profiles in it, and it's a way for agencies to share information all across the board so that services aren't duplicated. And it's like parts of California and parts of Texas. I don't remember if there's any other parts, but it's only agencies that are linked to the Rhineland grant and have access to it. So like if you went to a private doctor, like if you're within your own like healthcare system thing, or like insurance, they would, and they don't access the grant, like then your information would be there. So it has a lot of security features, which is why we're not able to access it easily, even though we're supposed to be able to, like we have the permissions to do it. But it's also an older system.
So here's the other question. So we're talking about Part A. I don't know this answer, believe it or not, I'm going to ask you. Can FFACTS do Part D? Can FFACTS Clinic see women?
Yeah, we see women.
So you do take Part D at,
Yeah,
okay.
but I don't know all of the particular details of what Part D services looks like in translation, like into clinic services directly, but I do, because as a social worker, I also do build on the back end. Like, so I do know that we have Part D.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to jump back to something real quick for someone that that may not know outside of the. Sorry, let me get up here closer to the mic. So I'm going to go back to a question on areas. So let's say, like you said originally, I don't want this agency and this agency and this agency to know any of my information. Maybe I have a friend that's at an agency as an employee, and I don't want them to know this yet. Now let's jump ahead 2 years, and we come back to that. Now, why do we need something for them? You are capable to go back in and do the area share and then go back and select, right? That's not something that's permanent. You can always change that up on how your sharing is going to be and who it's going to go to.
Yes. That any action that you put down, you're a consumer. So
Yes.
your healthcare and your information is your stewardship. If you decide one day that you don't want anyone to know your information, you can speak to registration and they'll be able to help you change your information. And then there have been times where someone is like, they chose the different agencies not to share their information with, but then there's a referral that they're requesting, and then that agency is the one that provides that service. Because that's part of the information I have to provide in that referral, so then I have to have a conversation with the patient and explain that situation. Usually they're like, oh yeah, I have to go down there and let me change that information so that you can send that referral out. And other times they're like, well, then I'm gonna find my own means of getting my business outside of the referral. You know, so it's a conversation, like, every agency is supposed to treat people's information, health information very seriously.
Yes.
So like, I can only speak for my own actions, and I'm extra mindful when I send out information, because like, I don't wanna be like doing 5 things at once, and then send it to a different agency, you know, so, we take that very seriously.
One thing that I want to add to this before I end with my questions is you said something about your health care or your health team or whatever. I just want to, again, tell everybody, if you do not like the services that you're getting to where you are in charge of your health care. You are the boss ultimately over your care team, and you can switch that up at any given time that you want.
Yeah, if, say you're going to someone and you're talking about the problem that you're having and you don't feel heard, you can always change your provider within agency, or you can go to a different agency, even just to get a second opinion, just to see what it's like, you know, trying on, you know, a different, you know, set of care, you know, so I mean, you're in charge. If it doesn't feel right for you, like if you don't feel heard, like, that is your right to go change.
Okay, actually, I think that was gonna be my question. Well, I know that was gonna be the question I was gonna ask. Yesterday, I had, I don't wanna say client, someone that called me yesterday. He was just diagnosed with, I can't even speak. Thank you, 3 months ago. And he went through, beat, but he told me that he wasn't happy where he has his case manager at, and he was looking for another agency to go to. I guess my question is, can I tell him to go to you guys? And if so, who do I ask? Do I give him your name, your number, or do I just tell him to go to FFACTS Clinic?
So if anyone anywhere that has an HIV diagnosis is able to receive services out of me, like, so if you want an appointment with a social worker, you can call the clinic's main phone line
Okay.
and schedule an appointment that way. That would honestly be the best way. I don't think there's a way to do that. Because I know, like, you can schedule provider appointments and do all these other things in that chart, but you've had to have like previous information.
Okay.
Let's say I'm with another agency, and like I said, I wasn't happy, or they just told me, hey, we cannot help you anymore, and I run out of meds. Can I get a bridge from you, or how can I get back on my meds if I've been out of my meds for like 2 weeks? Let's say my meds are McTarby.
Yes.
Can you give me a bridge, or do I have to go through y'all, enroll with y'all to get any kind of aid as far as medication?
So, what happened that you ran out of meds? Because that is also a factor. Like, is it because, like, there was a delay in your shipment, or?
You just stopped going to that agency, you didn't want to deal with them anymore.
No, I don't know the specifics. It's a client that reached out to me earlier this morning and wanted to know what he could do. He said that he was giving Biktarvy for a while, and they called him, I guess today, or they called him and said, we cannot help you anymore, blah, blah, blah. He didn't really get into too much specifics with me. I know he's watching, that's why I'm asking the question. So I told him to actually try to get hold of you, or try to go to y'all to get a bridge, or to get some kind of medication, because he feels some sort of way right now that he hasn't been on meds for 2 weeks. So he's kind of scared right now.
So, I would highly recommend for this person to, if they receive medications through our pharmacy, to like, let the pharmacy know, because they will let us know. If not, they should schedule an appointment through the clinic main line, because that's how they're able to get an appointment as soon as available social worker.
Lea, I want to ask something also with that. So, I've had this happen to me personally. Would you suggest this person, if they are on THMP or ADAP, to actually just call Austin tomorrow, first thing, and see if they can do something on their own, rather than trying to get an appointment to get in?
They should do both. And I'm saying this because So I don't know if you guys are supposed to be up to date on what's been going on with AI. Just randomly in like Christmas break, because it was like before Christmas, they sent out this email saying like how they were changing up a bunch of requirements. They changed the, like, it was like a federal income poverty level of like 400, which I was a little bit surprised because I thought it was a little lower. Down to 200, they were going to reduce like the cost spending, which is where they add the cost of medications to your income as a deduction. If you're like kind of close to the border of like the income of cutting it off, they'll add that cost so that that brings down your income. And they were gonna eliminate all this, and they were doing it like last minute, and it was already, at that point in the end of December, they were still so behind in processing applications from like September. Literally, stuff we put in from September was still not touched from them at the end of December. And so we were like, okay, like, is this, what are we supposed to do? There's going to be all these people that are dropped. We're already saying that if you had a birthday, like November, December, May, June, and you were putting in your documents, like naturally, as you would for your 6-month attestation and your stuff, that you were going to be on hold through no fault of your own, but because they hadn't gotten to it.
Means they would not get their medications.
Yeah.
So maybe that question that you're talking about and your answer, maybe it correlates with my client.
And that's why there's so many factors that come into play, and they need to talk to us, because we can't just be like, oh, you've been up without meds and not know this information, because it's a linkage. So we need to figure out why you're out of meds, so that we can figure out how long to give you, and make sure that you're going to receive meds through your long-term source at the end of that bridge, and not just keep throwing like 10-day meds out, you know, without figuring out the root of the problem. So like, that's a really vague open question, and there's all these really dumb factors that we can't control.
And one of the factors that right now going into where you were saying Christmas is they sent letters out, and because of the way that their federal buildings are actually set up in Austin, the letters sat for 3 weeks and were not sent out until after the due date that people got them, and all those people had been put on suspension now for any medication through THMP.
There was at least, I could think of 1 or 2 people that came to me with letters, and the letter itself said end of December, but it was postmarked early January.
Yeah.
So I was like, that really isn't fair either. But I also understand that because for fun, in my free time, I do advocacy. So I've been really on top of trying to figure out why that is. I know that from some other meetings that I've been a part of, there's been budget cuts Texas has been like throwing out there, and they're kind of disproportionately affecting ADOT program. So there's that. I know that they're understaffed, and that's part of why they're behind. So I mean, like when I call, you know, follow up on people that haven't had any updates in 2 months, you know, like I come with an understanding, like, hey, I understand, you guys are working hard. You guys have 1 fax machine for the whole entire state of Texas. It's been running for many years, and it's in a different building because that other building is.
It's mold.
Yeah, it's because they had to move out because no one can, you know, stay in there, but they left the fax machine in there by itself. So, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I want you to just clear something up real quick, because we're throwing acronyms around again, and maybe people won't know.
I was just about to say.
Can
what is it?
tell us please what THMP is.
So THMP is the Texas HIV Medication Program, and ADAP is the same thing.
I never did ADAP right.
AIDS something assistance program. Yeah. Like ADAP is a way older name, but when providers come to me, they're like, this patient needs ADAP, and I'm like, okay, THMP it is, let's go. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
actually this past week, like during the storm and everything, this has been through email. We haven't, all the meetings this past week have been canceled, our outages and stuff. THMP finally relented, and they're gonna hold back on implementing the spend down, you know, cut out and all of that. So hopefully that should help. They're gonna postpone it until June. I guess they're gonna talk about it more. But, so I mean, like, there's all these things that have been throwing people off for the past 2 months. And
Well, I mean, they gave us 6 days notice before the meeting. Do you remember that? That big echo, Zoom,
oh my
web
God.
craziness they were gonna do.
Yeah, that
And then,
was very short.
yeah, and I was signed up where I never could even get through, so. But I sat waiting to be, I was like, waiting for the, whatever to admit you, wait just 15 minutes, I gave up.
So, because it was a Thursday, and I was like, I couldn't figure out, and it was gonna be like up to 4 hours long. I was like, I can't have much of that. I submitted like a written thing, and in one of my other meetings, when like my name came up within the Zoom, they were like, hey, they read your thing. I was like, oh no, because I wrote it out all last minute before 5 p.m. And it was
Oh,
like,
when you could submit the questions.
Yeah, like I submitted a statement.
I didn't like that because I didn't think I should have to put my name on what I was asking.
And you shouldn't have to.
Does anybody have any other questions? Or concerns or comments?
Again, can you, maybe, I left the room earlier, but can you tell us where you actually located at and your number, where they can contact you guys at?
I can give the clinic name.
That's fine.
I would prefer if someone had questions to email me because it's way easier for me to see an email than it is for me to hear a voicemail. Because I have to have, I don't like doing hard voicemail pieces because, yeah.
Okay, so you're from FFACTS Clinic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to know, do you know roundabout estimated time before you guys are able to start communicating with areas again?
We've been in office.
Okay, well, because you guys at the FFACTS Clinic are now using the system Epic.
Yes, that is our new medical record system.
Yes, so
That's
therefore
separate from areas.
yeah, so the doctors are not able to communicate with like the other agencies through areas. Currently, they can't communicate with them directly.
Like other agencies can't communicate.
With the doctors directly. The doctors can communicate with like say for instance with psychiatrists like through their direct emails and stuff like that for like prescription medication refill.
Why wouldn't they be able to?
Because I'm going to it currently.
Because what?
I'm going to it currently.
So like issues with medication refill?
Yeah, with from like say for instance like ARC.
Mm-hmm.
ARC has psychiatric, right? And they have someone who prescribes medications there.
Mm-hmm.
But because FFACTS Clinic has switched to Epic, they have doctors that have to be able to reach other organizations, and because the new system update, they can't reach them directly. They can't email them. There's no way that they can communicate with one another directly.
So
Because of your guys' system update. You guys are working on a whole new network.
So what doctor's trying to interact with what doctor? I'm confused.
I think we should talk about that maybe after.
Okay.
Yeah.
it sounds more like we might need to talk about some patient like like your own health information, and I can talk to you really fast after.
Yeah, I think that would probably be
Because
best.
then I could give you some direction on where to go. Because Aries is a different system. It's not a medical record system. The system Epic replaced Sunrise and another medical record thing that we're using. So like, if someone needed like refills on their meds, or like they ran out of refills and needed more refills, they could go to their pharmacy, and the pharmacy should be able to reach out to the provider, like the medical provider.
Right. Well, so the former network, right, would be able to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
we can
yeah.
kind of talk after.
and then if you just want to finish giving out your, where to, how to reach you.
The FFACTS Clinic is located at 903 West Martin Street, San Antonio, Texas 78207, and the clinic name number is 210-358-3710. And if you have questions, on the website we can put my email, because I have a long last name, and it's a lot of letters to spell, and it's a private email, so.
Yeah, we can do that.
Any other questions? Okay, we want to say thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it. And we also want to say happy birthday to you.
Yes,
We
happy
hear that you're finally 21. Happy birthday.
I'll let you know how that goes after my next month.
So, again, thank you for your time.
Thank you guys for having me.
We got you.
John. Introduce John.
Oh, okay, our next presenter is John. Hey, John, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
That's great, that's great. We understand that you have a topic for today.
I do, but I first want to say my name's John, and this is my 21st year being positive.
Long-time survivor. Give him a hand.
It gets better every year.
Good, good.
So I'm going to briefly talk about the effects of HIV on your body. So we're going to start with the immune system. And, you know, we all know that your immune system is there to protect your body from diseases and other infections that come your way. Early on, HIV symptoms may be mild enough to be dismissed, but after a few months, you may experience flu-like symptoms. My experience with that is, I had flu-like symptoms. I passed out. I was sent to the hospital. They thought it was mono. It wasn't mono. My body did not. It took several months for my body to seroconvert, which some people don't do that. Some people do that. So, you know, the early on symptoms are mild. You know, and you know, could last a few weeks, and you just don't know. You know, acute symptoms can include fever, chills, night sweats, diarrhea, headache, muscle aches, joint pain, sore throat, rash, and that's basically flu-like symptoms. So, in the next stage is called clinical latent infection state. On average, it lasts 8 to 10 years. In some cases, it lasts longer. You know, you may or may not show signs. And it's basically the same symptoms I read a few seconds ago, which is flu-like symptoms. You know, the next is respiratory and cardiovascular symptoms. You know, HIV increases the risk of colds, influenza, pneumonia without preventive treatment. For HIV, advanced treatment puts you at an even greater risk of complications like tuberculosis. So you really need to have a tuberculosis test every year. You just don't know. Pneumonia. Get a pneumonia shot. You know, and a disease called pneumocystis. The acronym is PCP. No, it's not the drug.
Okay. Oh, he does make jokes.
Which causes trouble breathing, cough, and fever. Your risk for lung cancer also increases. So I'm on my 4th year of not smoking. So
It increases because of the PCP?
excuse me.
It increases because of the PCP?
Yes.
That's how I was diagnosed, that's when I was
Yeah,
diagnosed.
absolutely. You know, it causes weakened lungs, respiratory issues. You know, lung cancer is more prevalent among people with HIV. So you got to take care of your lungs, otherwise you're not going to be around. HIV raises the risk of pulmonary arterial hypertension, which is a type of high blood pressure in the arteries that supply blood to the lungs. Okay, so again, take care of your lungs. If you have HIV and have become immunocompromised, you're also more susceptible to tuberculosis. Again, get a tuberculosis test every year. That's very important. Even though tuberculosis really isn't out there like it used to be, but still, you don't know. It's just very, very important. Okay, the next topic is digestive system. Since HIV affects your immune system, it also makes your body more susceptible to infections that can affect your digestive system. Problems with your digestive tract can also decrease your appetite. And I've gone through that before. I'm sure I'm not the only one.
So what kind of problems are you talking about as far as digestive system? I mean,
Diarrhea, throwing up,
okay.
things of that nature. Weight loss is a common side effect when it comes to HIV, because I can go all day without eating. I know it's not right.
So do you think it's more of it suppresses your appetite? You think? Because if so, I'm pretty sure a lot of us do not have it.
Not everybody's the same.
Right.
We're not all the same. We're going to react to everything. I think a lot of my problem with loss of appetite is, I retired from the Navy in 09. The stress alone from retiring, moving, buying a house, I lost about 30 pounds when I retired. So I went, I was like 180 some pounds, so I was like almost 140 something pounds from stress. And then when I quit smoking almost 4 years ago, I put on some weight. It's an appetite suppressant. We know that. But still, I have that in my head. Mine is mostly appearance. Appearance. You're around these guys who are, muscled and
Well, thank you.
you look, wonderful, and then you look at yourself and body image. A common infection is oral thrush, which includes inflammation and a white film on the tongue. And it can also cause inflammation of the esophagus. I was taking 800 milligram Motrin for a long time, for pain and for whatever I had. Well, a few years back I had a endoscopy, which is they go in through your throat and they
Ouch.
see, really kind of not painful. Well, I had white spots in my esophagus, but that was actually caused by too many 800 milligram Motrin. So I stopped. You never think that anything like that is supposed to help with pain, is going to do that. It causes acid reflux.
So did the doctor tell you to stop taking Motrin, or you just decided to do it?
My doctor.
Okay.
My doctor said stop taking it.
Yeah, because I don't want you saying, I stopped it or it's best to stop, especially if your doctor has you on it.
And again, I was always told that you need to know more about what's going on with your body than your doctor. And it's like, okay, that could have eventually caused holes in my esophagus, which would have been really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, breathing through a tube. It's just really important again to know. Salmonella. We all know salmonella is contaminated food, water, and it causes some diarrhea, abdominal pain, and vomiting. And anybody can get this. Consuming contaminated food or water can also result in parasitic intestinal infection, which is just, I cannot pronounce the word. Starts with a C, ends with an S, it's that long.
Oh, we're still talking about that?
It's schistosporidiosis. Anyway, this infection affects the bile ducts. We all know where the bile ducts are. And intestines, it can be particularly severe. People with AIDS, it can cause chronic diarrhea, and you know, HIV Associated Neuropathy, which I have, in mine, my neuropathy was caused by a early on drug before the 3-to-1 drugs now. Biktarvy, what's that other one? A tripla, which I was on that one for a while. Well, the neuropathy was caused by D4T, which is Virid, and it was also I also took that with AZT and a few others that were extremely toxic. So thank God for 3-to-1s. A central nervous system. While HIV doesn't generally directly infect nerve cells, it does affect the cells that support and surround nerves in the brain and throughout the body. So there is the chance of acquiring dementia, which is linked with the medications, like a lot of other things. Mine is pretty advanced. It's peripheral neuropathy. You have it all over. It gets to be painful, but you just live with it.
So you're thinking, or are you saying that you got neuropathy because you're HIV positive?
I acquired neuropathy because of that drug that I took.
Okay.
The percentage is very small with people.
Because also you've had it 21 years, so it's not like where we are only taking 3, one pill with 3 elements in it. You were taking a cocktail.
I was taking a cocktail.
How many pills did you take at one time?
Let's see, I took AZT, D4T, Sestiva. Anybody familiar with Sestiva?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that gives you some crazy,
that's where I have the
crazy
trip.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Very
drunk-
vivid dreams.
Yeah, and it's a drunk without alcohol. Is what I experienced.
Wow.
It's pretty strong. So I think I took 4 or 5 different ones on top of some other ones, not related to HIV.
Right.
I think we talked about toxoplasmosis last time we were here, dealing with cats and the feces and their urine. If you have a cat, you really need to be.
Quick question, exactly what does that do? I mean, what part of your body does that affect?
It affects your nervous system,
Okay.
your central nervous system.
So is it,
basically your spine and your immune, everything. It attacks everything. So if you have a cat, if your cat uses a litter box, I would highly recommend that you probably use 2 masks, because if it's all it does is the smell, the scent. You don't need to ingest it. Was to say, if you pick up your cat, it just finished doing its business. What does it have on its paws?
yeah.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
You're going to have something on the paws with the cat. So, it's very, very tricky.
Actually, that you do throw a good point, because like most of us all pretty much have dogs, except for one person that has a cat, Leo. But all of us that have dogs, when we take them to the dog park or we take them outside, they're walking among feces.
Yes, they are.
And then and then we grab them and hug them, and
Kiss them, play with them.
I don't kiss them, but
Lick their feet.
but we start playing with them. We don't even think about it, but we play with them and everything. And then we're touching our face, we're combing our hair, or we're touching our lover's face. You know, that's a good point. It's like we need to be careful when we're around our pets because of that reason.
Exactly.
Though it's not
Like I
as...
said before, y'all will never have a pet more beautiful and smarter than
But anyways, so as...
I would beg to differ with you. Mine's
Remind me
cute
all that.
and small.
But yeah, we just need to be careful, like you're saying, you know, with all pets.
Exactly, exactly. You know, just be more aware of, you know, your surroundings and, you know, it could be anything that you just don't know. And it's not meant for everyone to be like afraid, you know, to go out and live life. Just, you know, be a little more aware. It's like, you know, take care of yourselves. You know, another issue that a lot of us have is anxiety and depression.
Right.
You know, it's very important that you take care of your mental health. Jace, you know, you talked about your friend.
In fact, he was HIV positive, so I mean, that
You know,
could have been
it's really important. You know, if it doesn't involve a licensed therapist, we can all be there. We can be a therapist for people. I've done it. Don't leave someone alone if they're in trouble. And you should be able to identify those signs of somebody in trouble. You know, it's so. And the last is integratory system. You know, it's a weird word. It's like, I'm sure nobody really knows what that means. One of the more visible signs of HIV and AIDS can be seen on the skin. So, okay, herpes, STDs, and you can actually see, you know, that's part of that. Sores. I don't know if that's really still prevalent. The sores that, you know, from the early,
Like,
The things that appear at the bottom of the foot,
yeah,
Not so much.
not so much now. It was, you know, the
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like back in the 80s,
yes.
like the movie Philadelphia.
Yes. You know, exactly. That's really
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anybody like other than from movies from the early 80s.
You talking about cancer?
No.
Yeah, yes.
Hey.
The visible sores.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's,
I actually, when those guys had those.
Jason, isn't it something to start pulling on?
Say again?
Something to start pulling on?
Yeah.
yes.
Our pussy circle.
That's it.
Yes. You know, and the wasting. You know, I have friends who would do that. You know, it's no matter what your appetite is, you're just wasting away.
Oh, where redistribution of fat in your body.
Yeah.
You get the sucking cheeks.
Yes.
Matter of fact, you talk about sativa, that actually is what contributor to that.
Yeah.
It'll redistribute,
Wasting.
like, it'll help contribute to wasting, because it distributes fat to like your middle, whereas fat would normally go to maybe your legs and other parts of your body.
No, I never experienced any of that with sativa. It was mainly the freaky dreams.
I did.
And, you know, about an hour after you take sativa, you're zoned out. I would have people talk to me and I don't know what they're saying. That's how strong it was.
Wow.
You know, and other skin conditions, eczema, dermatitis, scabies, and skin cancer. So, you know, again, you know, take care of one another, take care of yourself, be aware of what's going on, know who to ask, know where to go. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay. Now,
be me, Santiago, and Leo. You want to fix the camera? Face?
Make sure to get those big boys all in that frame.
Apparently, you don't have any big boy club. So the topic tonight, our final topic tonight is.
Is Leo?
Yes, it's all about me. No, at what age do you think is the limit of when you should go to a bar? And since Marc is the semi-oldest one, we'll have him start.
Okay, thank you. I honestly feel that at a certain age, you should stop going to a bar. That age, I believe, is 25.
25.
Honestly, hold on. That's my view. When you get a little bit older than that, I just feel, I don't want to get crap from anybody. You're going to get it. I feel that when you hit a certain age, at 25, going to 30, you have no business being in a bar. That's my view.
You can drink at home
You can drink at home.
with friends.
At what age?
So, the what?
At what age?
25.
25 to 30. When you cross the 30 to 40, I feel that you're trying to be someone that you're not alone. When you hit the 50 mark, me, Santiago, and I think that's it. How old are you? 50. Oh, anyway.
And Jay's?
Oh, James past 50.
Santiago and I went out every weekend during Margarita Week last year.
But honestly, yeah, and John, I honestly feel when you hit the 40 to 50 mark, you're trying to become something that you're not. You're being desperate to fit in. Where you could be at home, hanging out with your friends at home, or you're staying home. At that certain age, mostly, not everybody, but some of us do have partners at that age. And I understand some of us don't. I feel that. Are you throwing shit at me, Leo? No, I'm not throwing shit at you, Leo. I'm only telling the facts.
But I'm not 50.
I mean, at least one boyfriend. But you don't. But that's your choice. That is my choice. That is my choice. If I have two boyfriends, that is my choice. That is your. Okay, if Leo wants to have 3 or 4 or 5 people at the same time, that's his choice. And we know Leo is
He would have held up more than 10, but he only has 10 fingers.
He's constantly laughing, but he has to take this kind of stuff. So, but honestly, that's what I really do. If you're 50, you're trying to be something that you're not. If you're at the bar.
So you're saying this as a gay person?
Yes.
What if you were straight? Were you still
I
the same
still
thing?
feel the same way. I still feel the
You
same
know,
way. Because in being straight, especially being Mexican, Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to call yourself, not quite, but being, there is certain bars for like land, race, what have you, that they go to when they're 50, 60 to hang out. I still don't believe they should be at a bar. I really don't. Because if you have family at home, you should be spending that money for your family, not drinking for your friends. If you want to be at home with your family.
So what if your family wants to go out with you? Go drinking.
I don't go drinking. It just, I come from a family who really does not drink. My father doesn't drink, my mother doesn't drink, but that's the way I was born and raised. Okay, and that's my belief. We all know people who are in their 40s, 50s are going out to a bar. Right now in Santiago, there's not really a bar to go to. This guy who go out to a bar, who dress like they're 19, 18 years old, who's coloring their hair, who wear earrings. That's another thing. But he looks stupid.
Hey, it looks good, Leo.
But
I'm like I said, it's not 50.
he's not going to be yet. I still don't agree with it. He knows how I feel about it. But I just feel.
I'd give a long one.
Oh Lord.
know, sometimes even 2, even strip clubs and everything. So, you know, it worked for me. It was money for me. So to me, it really didn't matter. You know what? I'm getting paid because if people were in the mindset as Marc, we're not going to clubs or bars. There would be no bars. There would be no clubs, and I wasn't making no money. So I needed to make money. But how did you talk? So back in the day, so I'll say 91, 92, when I started going out and actually started working at clubs, my first bar was the Saints. I actually went in there and applied. The guy was trying to hit up on me, but he hired me. His name was Enrique. Tall Mexican. Do you remember him?
Yes.
So they was like, no, whatever. But I used to work all those bars. And I always told myself, because I used to look in there, looking at all the old guys just creeping there, just being in the same spot every Friday, Saturday. Right when you walked into the old Silver Dollar, you got those 2 old Mexicans that were decrepit looking, just looking at dudes, or just walking around in circles and everything. I told myself, I'll never be that guy. So, now fast forward, I am now 50 and that guy. But I'm still not that guy. And when I go, I'm not going looking for guys. Actually, when I go, the guys are looking for me. But when I go, the times that I've gone, let's say me and Wayne or whatever, or even Carlos, we're going there, we're just chilling, we're drinking, we're having our margaritas, some cute little drinks or whatever the case may be, but we're just chilling. You know, if we see guys, yeah, we're gonna look like, yo, that motherfucker's hot as fuck and everything. Oh, look at her, like, she old as fuck.
It's
we're just sitting there being shady. You know, but the thing is, you know, I'm gonna go with our forefathers fought to go to bars, fought to be able to go do stuff, to go into a gay bar. Did they not?
Stonewall.
What about Stonewall? Because they wanted to be out. Why do I have
But
to
no,
be?
you said, I don't know if they fought for you to be able to go to gay bars. They were fighting
For transgender
for transgender rights, gay rights. That may have included going to a gay bar,
Right.
but it included many other things as well.
It was about them as people being treated with equality.
But also they fought to go to a bar because they weren't allowed to go to certain bars. Am I right or wrong? So now that we do have a bar, now you're chastising us because now we're too old. Just because you consider yourself old and you'd rather stay home in a retirement center,
First, I don't consider myself old. Okay, I think
well, no, because you are saying you're old. You are saying at a certain age you should be staying home.
No, I
You
do
not say that.
No, listen, that's not what I said.
What you said?
I turned around and said, at a certain age, you're not supposed to be in a bar. I'm not saying that I'm considering myself old, but I just feel at a certain age, you don't belong in the bar. It is, to me, is pathetic looking when you're sitting at the bar with Wayne, with Carlos, with these little Jerry, staring at all these young guys walk by, and you're like, ooh, I wanna fuck them. And
Who's to
don't
say-
tell
who's
me
to
you
say-
don't do that.
who's to
I'm
say-
not saying I don't. I'm like,
Hold
yeah,
on,
it's-
who's to say the young boys don't hit on us?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying most of the time, the older guy that sits there is always the pathetic looking one who's always eyeing out the young kid.
What? I'm not pathetic. I don't know about everybody else. They claim pathetic. I don't.
Well,
If I decide to
First
walk
thing,
there,
I didn't call you pathetic, I think you look pathetic.
What bar for gay? No, I do have a quick question for you.
but again, if I choose to go to the bar and grab a cute little drink, I'm gonna do it. Nobody's gonna tell me that I can't do that. Because what's
You
next?
can't do that.
Oh, you're too old to be wearing that clothes? Is that what the next subject's gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't wear H&M anymore because that's for young people.
Like I said, if Johnny Depp can wear it,
But Johnny Depp is an actor. He gets paid to wear that. But we're not talking
But
about
Johnny
that.
Depp is also
What
50
I'm
years old.
saying is,
Johnny Depp is hella fun.
what we're saying is, why do we have to put an age limit to everything?
We're not, okay, first thing,
You are putting an age
no,
limit.
no. First thing, I'm not saying, and you're gonna do strictly you're not gonna do bar. I'm saying that's how I feel. I'm not telling you not to go.
You said that.
I'm
If you're
telling
above
you not to
25, you just said if you're above
You have no
25,
business being in a bar. That is
why?
why.
That's you.
Yeah, but I'm not telling you, don't fucking go to the bar.
No, what you're saying is, you're pretty much telling us, if you're above 25, you're not going to work because you should be at the retirement home. That's what you're pretty much telling me. No, I'm not. Well, I'm not close to retirement. Well, actually, I am. 'Cause I'm 50. But at 55, that's when we get my Social Security check. But what I'm trying to say is, look, let somebody live, bro. Come on, if they want to go grab a drink, or they want to go hang out, or if they want to go fucking find some sugar daddy or some little, what is it?
Sweet, sugar mama.
Not sugar mama, but a kid that they go fuck with, hopefully over 21. But let them live, bro. Just because you're happy with your boyfriend, you're happy. But let me live, bro. Let him live. I've been laid in 6 years.
I've got to tell
We're not waiting a boyfriend. Let's get him a boyfriend now. I'm so sorry, man. I just remember you here.
I have to tell y'all this story, I swear to God. Michael dropped from heaven and hugged me. We were at the Diamond Shamrock one night, Michael and I. It was about 12, getting close to 12. They were going to close. We're running in there to get sodas real quick. And that's before the annex burned down. And we saw the VIA pull up and drop someone right down on a wheelchair to go in there.
Oh my God.
And I know who it was, too, but I'm not
But
going to
what's
say.
funny is, we have gone to the annex before we were down. We had gone there a couple of times and everything.
Well, yes,
This was only, how long is the annex been closed? 2 years, maybe?
Yeah, about a year.
2 years.
How often?
Wait, we have a question from someone in the back.
Oh, I was just wondering what would be an age of, like, if a person who's gay and single is 50, 60, where can they go if they are single? I know you don't prove, but I'm
Well,
just saying.
apparently we have to go to his house. That's
To
what
a
he
dinner
said.
theater.
Is there bars for, like, someone who's older? Like, even if they wanted to go?
A dinner theater.
Okay.
Because I know
This is what I heard. If you're at a certain age, I'm not gonna say old. Okay, fuck it. Oh, if you're old, sorry. If you're old, there's a certain bar that I heard that you can go to, and it'll be okay. I know I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. It's on Copa, what do you call it? Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That's
gross.
what I heard. If you're a certain age, where you go to.
Wow, really?
Well, no, I have a question for you, Mark.
Because that is, okay, from my understanding also, there's a hospital down the street, so a lot of doctors and nurses used to go there.
It's still doing.
7 in the morning.
It's 7 in the morning. The Cobalts, and I'm not advertising for them, they open at 7 a.m. in the morning and they close at 2 a.m. So,
Well, they quit serving alcohol at 2 a.m.
yes, they can serve alcohol. It's not a 24-hour bar, but, you know, if I just did a midnight shift and I'm a doctor and I just got out of work, I'm like, yo, I need a motherfucking drink because I just had a long fucking day. So I'm going to the bar and get my, I'm gonna go get myself a cute little drink. Is that okay?
And then I need my Coke.
I'm gonna go get me a Coke, but I don't know, well, no, if they're open at 7 a.m., I guess they can serve alcohol.
Yes.
That's why they open at 7 a.m. They can serve alcohol.
Yeah, because I thought there was a law that you can't sell alcohol at like in a liquor store or something. You can't sell until a certain time.
Well, so the way that works is you have to have 1 day off out of the week. And I think it's usually Sunday.
No, they're open on Sundays.
Really?
Yeah.
At 7 a.m.? Oh.
And then, you know what? As much as we're clowning that bar, I've been there a couple of times just to chill. Yo, I used to get 50-cent Ziegenbach. It was a really good beer. And for 50 cents, I'm like, cool. You know, I can chill here for a little while. But yes, I did see a couple of decrepit-looking guys in there that I'm like, dude. It's like, and some torn-up drag queens. I'm like, girl.
Oh, no, I know her. Don't say that. That's nice. She drinks Russians.
But, you know, you know what? What's the difference between, you know, going to Cobalt and going to Cheers? I mean, like if there's a real Cheers in Boston, right?
Yes.
So what's the difference between, what was his name? Norm that would go in there after his mail delivery and do something. You know, we are all adults. We are all going to where we want to be happy. If I feel happy going to the bar, having a drink, that's fine. If I go in and even if I don't drink, let me live, bro. Like, why are you judging me? Just because I choose to go
giving you my opinion about it. I'm not telling you or anybody not to go to the bar. If you want to go, you go. But I just feel that you have no business being there at a certain age.
Is there anybody with any questions that want to throw some shade at Marc? Yeah, please tell me. Please get online. Okay, contestant number 15 over here.
I've been wanting to ask this question for a while.
But
Okay. Do you believe there's a certain age? What about my shirt's coming apart? Just leave it alone. Okay, you believe that once you reach a certain age, you shouldn't go to a bar. Is that on a regular basis? Do you believe that even after, let's say after 30, that maybe one night every 2 years, maybe you and your friends will go?
I honestly feel that you don't know.
You don't go at all.
But do you think it's because of your upbringing, because your parents were not drinkers or did not drink at all?
That's the part of it. Working in the bar, running the bar. Hold on. Running the bar. Seeing these guys that walk in, and they were 50, 60 years old, God knows, they would walk in and try to hit on these kids that were 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids that were at the bar, and they would always make fun of them. They would always put them down. It just, I've heard it so many times, not only from the bar I worked at. I've worked at other bars too here in San Antonio, but that's the one I worked for 15 years. And I saw it all. Also working in the clubs in Miami, I work in Miami, and I also work in LA in the clubs. It's the same thing. When someone at our age that walks into a bar and you get all these kids there, they're gonna stare and start talking shit about you.
So that's what you're more worried about. You're not worried about. I'm not pretty much what I'm getting at.
I'm not worried about.
You're worried about something.
I just feel all these years me working in the bar and seeing myself, I don't feel that at a certain age that you're supposed to be in a bar. I just don't. It just, you just have no business being in the bar. It's not because I'm involved with someone. It has nothing to do with it. I always felt that way. Every once in a while, I would go with you to the annex. I felt that annex would be okay because it was mostly an older crowd. But still, I will not go to the annex in a regular base or myself. I will not do that.
But wouldn't you go at least once a week to Bobby on Sundays?
No. No, not once a week. We will go every.
Not even for happy hour?
Every once in a while.
So what?
Not even for happy hour?
No.
So I think what you're trying to say is that there's a lot of, well, I mean, there's a lot of stigma within that gay community.
Yes, and there is.
And, even to this day, there's still a lot of stigma. I'm sure the youth, you still make fun of the older generations when they're at the bars. I know my mother goes to bars, she goes with her friends, she drinks, and she has fun. I don't really see anything wrong with it. She's living her life. She actually never had the opportunity to before, she was with my father. So being able to do this, I'm happy for her that she has the opportunity to do this. So I can kind of see where you're coming from. It does look a little bit like sad seeing old people at a bar trying to pick up young kids. But when I worked at South Hydro Island, I would encounter a lot of winter Texans, and so those were old straight married couples that would come in and were always very sweet, tipped really well, and so I think maybe it's mainly in the gay community where that stigma lies. I actually went to a lesbian bar in Houston, and there was women there of all ages, and everyone kept to themselves, was very nice and friendly, and I
I'm gonna go with that, because remember when Play Code used to be open? You never saw lesbians being shady like that.
No.
It's mostly gay men. Oh, you're too old, or you're too fat to be in here, or there's that. Lesbians could care less. They're like, nice flannel shirt or something like that. But I'm just saying,
Sorry, lesbian,
Remember, it was the Tommy Hilfiger starched to death with the regular jeans.
Oh yeah.
All for the men's section.
Sorry, Sylvia. But when a couple of times I did go to a petticoat, I never saw lesbians do that. But I do see what you're saying. But you've also got to figure, there's people that are starting to get comfortable and starting to come out, being gay, knowing themselves. So they, like you said, they didn't, when they were young, they weren't going out. So now that they're older, hey, I want to go out, but now I'm getting judged.
I understand that. Someone who's,
Right.
say someone who's 25, who just came out of college, never been to a bar, walks into a bar, any bar, and the first thing
It sounds like a joke is about to come out.
the first thing that they experience is rejection. It's the looks. It's like, what the fuck are you doing look? I mean, you have no business being here. And a lot of older guys, and I know a lot of older guys don't go to bars because they don't like the looks that they get. They rather just stay home, hang out with their friends at home, and drink at home. It's a lot easier to do that than to get all this bullshit that comes from a bar from the young generation.
Hey, older guy, did you get that look when you go out?
Huh?
Did you get that look when you go out? No.
So then, I think what you're trying to say is we should have a bar specifically designated for
Opens.
You know, I'll throw it out there that Richard is 20 years younger than I am, so.
What?
Bar that's strictly 40 up.
You cradle snatcher. I'm gonna tell us about what was wrong with it. But you know what? Like again, if I want to go to the bar, it doesn't have to be. Let's go with. Not I want to say $7. That hasn't been there forever. If I want to go to Pessy's and grab a drink, I'm gonna go with there and grab a drink. If I happen to meet up, if I'm cruising somebody else, I'm gonna cruise somebody, or if somebody cruises me, somebody cruises me. If it doesn't affect you, it shouldn't bother you, is what I'm trying to get at. You know, just because you chose to.
Equality all across the board.
Right. It shouldn't bother you, just like if something you're doing is not right for me, it shouldn't bother you.
Again, I am not telling you not to go to the bar. Again, I'm just telling you that is my opinion.
Right.
Simple as that.
Not everybody has it.
True. But I'm not, you making it sound like I'm telling you not to go to the bar. I'm not doing that.
You're not telling me to
All I'm saying is, I just feel at a certain age, you don't belong in the bar. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna miss you at Luther's tonight.
I don't want to go back here. So, what I'm saying is, you just don't, at a certain age, you have no business being in the bar. That's all I'm saying. That is not but I'm not telling you, don't go to the bar because you're 51, or 52, or 53, or 54. Or don't go to the bar because you're like, 40? Oh shit, never mind. And so, really? It's just, that's what I just feel. It has nothing to do because I'm seeing someone, has nothing to do that I'm happy being with this person. Nothing to do with that. I'm just saying is, I just feel at a certain age, you don't belong in the bar. That's all I'm saying. Simple as that. But I'm not telling nobody out there, or you guys, don't go to the bar because you're 50 years old. Don't go to the bar because you're 29. Okay, whatever. And so, it's just, that is my opinion. If Jace wants to go, that's Jace. If Wayne wants to go over Richard, that's him. That's it. If Josh wants to go, you can go to the bar. If that's where you go.
No, we can't be a bartender. We heard about his stories.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Yes. So, no one begs us for you. You gotta stop. You know, look, if I decide to go to the bar, like I said earlier, you know, I want to go chill with my boys. Me and Wayne and Carlos, or a couple of people, we've gone there. Let's say we used to watch the drag show on Friday.
Yeah, every Friday.
We used to go to Luther's. Was their food amazing? No, not really. Their drinks were actually pretty good. They were like margaritas. And we would watch the show. You know, we there hang out for an hour or 2 hours, or we would watch the other show after that, and then go home. But
would you consider that a bar or a restaurant?
It's both.
it's a little bit of both.
I mean, there's people I see there with no food. You know?
Yeah, there's people that go there just to drink, not
That they have this huge beer thing like this.
So then, Mark, are you saying that people shouldn't go clubbing?
Clubbing. They should not go to the bar. I do not consider there's a bar or a club. I just consider it to be, mostly, it's just really a restaurant that serves alcohol, like any other
Well,
restaurant.
you don't like it, you don't like it.
I hate it, simple as that.
So,
I hate
what
the
do you-
hat and everything.
What do you consider the 800 when I'm required to buy nachos?
Nasty.
Before I can go inside.
It's nasty.
Where is?
800.
Oh, that is.
We went a while back and they made us buy nachos before we went.
Oh my god. It was just some chips and then some whole big old thing of cheese, a blob of cheese.
It was so
But,
good.
I mean, that's almost like if we were paying cover. You know, we went in there and then, but this is also during COVID.
You guys have to food truck.
Where it's like you got your nachos, you sat there and you couldn't go anywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like I'm just sitting here like I just got detention or something.
In the corner.
Like,
Wait away from everybody.
I know. You know, I can't wait till the bars go back to where they were, where you can just go up. Because sometimes, you know, one, you don't want everybody in your motherfucking house. But two, there's people that you haven't seen, like people that are coming in from Austin that you just run into. Like I run into people from, matter of fact, I ran into my boy from Tony, he's in the military, last year about this time. He passed by me and Wayne, and he looks at me, he goes, Gypsy Model, remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we were outside, we were actually going home already. We were at Pegasus and we're leaving. We were going towards the car.
We had been at Luther's and we went to Pegasus.
Yes, we were literally going into Pegasus and they were leaving, him and his boyfriend were leaving, and he just looks at me, Gypsy. Oh my God, who calls me Gypsy other than my Facebook friends? So I was like, yo, what's up? And he goes, yo, it's me, Tony, blah, blah. So we were talking, chatting it up, chopping it. You know, again, you run into people that you don't see in an everyday basis. You know, this is a friend of mine that lives actually in Killeen.
Well, you must
So-
be a good friend, because if he was in town, he would get hold of you.
Dude,
Not-
we're Facebook friends. We're not like best friends.
Yeah, don't say he was a friend.
Let's see how people riddled with STDs if you go to bars.
I'm sorry,
The what?
You'll find people riddled with STDs. Yeah, like Jay.
That's sometimes.
You know,
Yeah, that's another thing.
STDs.
Yes. You know,
Tell me how you feel about STDs.
you know I don't like it, sorry. No one does.
How many do you have?
Not only HIV, that's all I have. I've been lucky not to get anything. Not like some people I know.
Actually, you can find out if any of us have had STDs on our podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be our next podcast.
No, we already
Oh
did
yeah, sorry.
Did that already. Yeah.
We have a lot of podcasts coming up.
Yes. So I just feel
Good.
there's a lot of things that I just feel that we have no business being involved. That's another thing, STDs. But again, it just depends who you are. Because if you go out there to get laid, and if you do get laid, you may come home with an STD.
And the older you are, the worse it can be for you.
So what?
The older you are, the worse the STD can wind up being for you.
True. So that's why I just feel that you need to take care of yourself, mentally and physically. By going out drinking and getting drunk, you do stupid things. You mean?
Yes, I use again.
But and it's,
I like to drink.
I'm not talking about you. I
feel like that's staying towards me.
Oh my God! Look at you. So look at Josh. No, it's just like,
Oh!
What I'm saying is, when you're at a certain age, you need to take care of yourself. By taking care of yourself, this is my opinion again. Not smoking, not drinking, not doing drugs, because when we're HIV positive, we need to take care of ourselves.
He wants you to become a priest.
Right? You just sound about like that. It's like you're like preaching to us right now. Like,
No, this is just my opinion. This is my opinion.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I want to ask someone who's, Josh, how old are you?
31.
31. You okay? He's older than you, right?
Yeah.
29.
I know your answer already to this, but stop going to the bar?
That's a good question, actually. I was thinking about it the whole time we were talking about it. I would say probably like 35, because they say the 30s are your like best years or whatever. So I would say that time, because usually you're like single until like, and you just like to have fun. And I feel like 35 to 40 maybe, like that time. And then after that, yeah.
So just when you stop.
I would say. And then after that, you go find the older.
I know you really don't go out, correct, with bars?
Well, Renee's at 50, so.
Yeah, he's
That
50.
was an architect. I think a couple of things. I think it's dependent on, one, if you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, you probably shouldn't be going out because that will cause a lot of problems.
What if your boyfriend wants to go out with you? Or wants to suggest, hey, let's go out and go and drink?
Yeah, do you think it's different if it's you and him going out together?
But you see that, he brings it.
But that's yes, it's fine. One weekend, you know, in a blue moon.
Okay, my thing with that
It
is.
depends if it's a regular, every weekend thing. It depends. Also, I think you should, you know, you were talking about an age limit. I think if you can, because you have to also remember, going to the bar means that you're going to be drinking and driving. And so I think that if you can handle yourself, going out and drinking, then that's fine at any age. But if you go out to get shit-faced, and just become a mess, you're gonna, I know this personally, you're gonna get DWIs.
Well, you see,
You're gonna get in trouble.
You're right, but that's if you get shit-faced.
but you gotta understand.
No, that's not true, because you can wind up with a DUI without being shit-faced.
Well, that's, yeah.
Yes, too. There's a lot, you gotta understand, a lot of these young kids wanna go out and get drunk. That is their goal. A lot of these older guys wanna go out and get drunk to feel good and just to fit in a certain.
It depends on the individual, how they can handle
Yeah,
their
just to
drinking.
hook up. They think they got a better chance to hook up when you're drunk and you're older because you become more loose and more free. I know I've been there once or twice, but that's what I feel. You have a question, Richard?
No.
Okay.
John, do you, your husband drink? I mean, do y'all go out?
He goes out more than I do.
Do you have a problem with it?
No. My thing is, I don't want to spend every weekend in a bar.
Right.
There are other things to do, than going to a bar.
How often does he go out? Per month?
Per month. It doesn't bother me. I mean, sometimes he goes out like every weekend with friends, and I'm okay with that. I'm cool with it, because I actually like staying home. I'll go out every once in a while, but I'm the driver. I don't drink. I have soda or water.
He had a birthday recently. Did y'all
Yes,
go out for
last
that?
Thursday.
Did
His
y'all
birthday
go
was
out for
last
that?
year. He turned 50.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were older. I thought you were.
I mean, I think young people go out to get drunk. I think older people go out to relax. It just depends on the
I
situation.
think it's just anybody. Anybody, if they want to go out because they've had a hard week or they just worked 8 days straight.
Yeah.
Or just alcoholics, they just want to go out.
If they go out every day, waste their money, not pay their rent, yes, you're right, they're alcoholics because they're not paying their bill, they got their car taken away.
It's impeding on their life.
Yeah.
You see, you get also.
And I've seen people like that. I've seen people at addicts, I told you that. We had a friend, well, actually more of my friend, but really wasn't my friend either, went to the annex and got a beer with nickels, dimes, and quarters. So if you really have to go drinking that bad, pay nickels, dimes, and quarters, you're pretty much an alcoholic and should have just said your ass home. But if you're going out there just to chill, get one drink, and you're just babying the whole night, just because you want to be your friend, just because you want to be among your friends, then do that. But if you're spending every nickel on penny,
What if he really needed that drink or something stressful happened like that day? And he
no,
had been-
because this guy was just like, hey, can you buy me a beer and I'll pay you back next week or something
When as soon as he wakes up, that's why he sleeps. He falls asleep. His excuse is, I just love beer. That's cool, you love beer, but if you're spending all your money, like Santiago said, on beer,
And
at
they'll
the end of the month, you're like, he's not, can I borrow $100 to help me pay for it? I'm like, nobody. No. I'm not gonna do that.
You know, we've had,
Asking you for help.
Huh?
I said, fine, I'll stop.
No, I mean, but that's not only with beer, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but that's with anything. Like people that will ask me, hey, can you buy me a pack of cigarettes? I need them later. No. If one, I don't smoke, but I'm not going to condone
Your
that
behavior.
by your behavior or your addiction by buying you something like smoking.
Okay.
You want to kill yourself? You
Would
kill
you
yourself.
do the same thing with food?
Oh,
Would-
yeah.
With
With food, yeah, we'll both that first.
Yeah. Just one.
No, but you know what? Food, yes. You know, because it's like, look, I know you're broke. You know, you just broke up and you ended up moving out and you have no place to stay. You're staying with a friend or you have no money or whatever, and you need a meal. Yo, I got you. You know, well, let's go get something to eat, or just come over to my house and I feed you. And when I cook, yeah, I cook a lot, just like you. When you cook, what do? You pretty much tell all of us to take over the leftovers because you don't do leftovers. So, but yeah, with food, I would definitely, hook somebody up. But if it's for beer, like, dude, like, look, I went out my first beer might be an hour, and you'll be drinking your beer within 15 minutes. Look, I'm not gonna. What is the word I'm looking for? Just pay all your beer tab. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm just not here for that. I might as well just go home and you find somebody else, another sucker. But then you gotta watch those little trolls too, that they be walking around. Oh no. So I used to see these trolls, and we used to call them in Japan. We used to call them buy me drinky girls. There would be guys, let's say cute little guys, or maybe cute, you would drink some more, would walk around the whole bar and talk to you. Hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. Hey, can you get beer? And you're a dumbass for fucking buying beer. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, the dumbass that just bought this motherfucking beer.
got a little kid who's interested in me.
And then, oh, thank you. And then he walks away and then talks to the next guy and gets another beer from them. They were buying drinking girls because they were just going from guy to guy to guy. You buy them a drink, you buy them a martini, or whatever the case may be. So it was like, nah. And as security, because we did security for us, I would just watch these fools. Just like, you are a dumbass. And sometimes, I'd be in plain clothes or whatever, I just sit there, and then that motherfucker would come to me, and it's like, oh, can you buy me a drink? It's like, look, I just saw you hustle all these guys. Get the fuck out of my face before I kick you out.
I actually did not work at this bar. It was actually in New Orleans. I had a friend who worked at the bar. He was actually a manager. And he told me once, it's the same thing. Because I was sitting there and I was looking at all these little boys walking around talking to the older guys. And they would flirt with them, touch their hair, blah, 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 their arms, and say all this bullshit for a drink. The bar hired them to walk around and have these guys buy drinks.
Like the shop boys.
Yes, in a sense. When it's not like the bar was busy, but that was a way for them to make more money. Because if you would buy this kid 2 beers, you'd save $5 a beer. That's $10 the bar would be making extra if they were not there.
But even straight, because I worked at a straight strip club, and they would have the girls do that too. Hey, can you buy me a drink or something like that? So they would not actually get a drink, they would probably end up getting water, or maybe sometimes they would get alcohol and get drunk. But like you said, the bar was making money because the girl is drinking for free and they're making money, or sometimes they would just get water, but they were charging like $8-10 for water.
At a certain bar I worked for, we had a bottle of vodka and a bottle of rum full of water. That was it. Those were for bartenders. When a customer would want to buy you a drink, you would take a shot of vodka, a shot of bourbon. You would pay the $4 for that shot, but you were buying a shot of water. And Budco, at the time, I don't know if they still do it, they used to have Budweisers and Bud Lights for water. You would buy a case of water. I'm sorry, they will not sell you a case of water. You will get the case of water for free. The bar will get it for free. And you put it at a certain cooler. If someone customer wants to buy your beer, you will get that beer. Open it, charge them $5 for the beer, you will be drinking water.
That'd be a negative. I want to have a beer.
So, but as bartenders, and I don't know, now it's totally different. At the time, bartenders were not allowed to drink.
No.
Yes. But you were not allowed to drink. But if you would TLC would walk in and catch you owning a beer, they could test the beer and know it's what. And they would, TLC would know what you were doing. But the customer did not know. Sometimes they would ask you to buy whatever you want to buy. Say you wanted a shot of Crown. And we had bourbon. Not bourbon, we had a bottle of Crown. It was syrup, it was syrup and water. The syrup would make it turn the life around. It was actually pretty good. It was sweet. And you would buy the shot of Crown. At the time, Crown was really expensive. At the time, I think it was $10 a shot. So I don't know what it is now, but you would pay $10 for a shot of syrup for me to drink. And that was insane. And you would always mark down the bar to work on. If I would take 3 shots of Crown, I would write 3 shots of Crown. If I would have 4 beers, I would write 4 beers.
But here's the thing, did it benefit you? Did you make any money out of that?
Oh, yes.
So you got a percentage?
Yes, I will get a percentage of the beer and shots I will make. Plus the tip that they will always give me. As a bartender, you said you're a bartender, correct?
Yes.
As a bartender, you learn how to flirt with someone.
Oh,
Working at this certain bar that I worked at started as a lesbian bar, then turned into mostly a straight bar.
How did you
Before,
How did you flirt with that?
it was easy. It was so easy to flirt. Lesbians love gay boys, or gay guys, and especially if you're
But let's be gonna build that.
It
Not in San Antonio.
this bar was here in San Antonio. So I would make money. But with straight guys, I would flirt with straight guys. I would call them babe, papi, daddy, what have you, and they would love it. Their girlfriends were there and all that.
For some reason, I can't see you flirting.
You will be surprised. You will be surprised. I have changed so much from my younger age to now. But yes.
So, would you consider it pathetic if I go to the bar just to get laid?
What do I consider? Desperate.
Like, not to necessarily drink, maybe.
Just desperate. You're desperate to go get laid in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's his opinion.
that's my opinion. I think it's.
But that's a different topic, because we know you don't drink.
Yeah.
So we know you don't want to.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying.
He could go and get a soda, think it's my product, and hold the soda at a drink.
Is that
Are
wrong?
you the big guy that's drunk?
Yeah.
He just asked, is that drunk?
Is that wrong?
No, I just feel if you go to a bar to pick someone up who's drunk to just get laid, that's gross. You're pathetic. Simple as that. I really feel that because honestly, I just feel when someone's drunk, they let the guards down. They don't really know much.
But that's
going on.
why-
It depends how drunk they are.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, someone might have a buzz and know exactly what they're going for, and they see you and say, okay, I can get laid. Straight, why not?
So it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you know, when you got this guy that's out of your league, all of a sudden start coming to talk to you, I'm like, yeah, this is a Bobby drinking girl. He's just coming up here to fucking get a couple of drinks off of me right now.
But on the other hand, I think we all here, I'm not just gonna say Santiago, Leo, me, or Wayne. I'm not gonna say Jace, but let's say Jace. Or
Jace, when was the last time you were in a bar and actually drank?
Actually, when I go to bars, I never drink. I'm the one that gets the soda or the. As a matter of fact, I'm usually invited to go to a bar to be a designated driver.
Do you drink?
I drink at home, but I don't drink at bars.
You drink at meetings?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
So,
We
alcohol.
had a
alcoholism runs in my family, so I just do not want to risk it by.
And I think that's what happens too. When you work or have family that owns a bar and you
Yeah.
see it all the time, you're kind of disgusted with it.
Yeah.
Or let's say you come from a family that's very obese. What happens? You don't want to eat like that because you don't want to be obese like that. Or be an alcoholic. You saw your mom drink all the time when you were a kid, or you saw your dad drink all the time. That's going to make you not want to drink. Again, that's just my opinion.
But I mean, for me, part of that was I came from a family of alcoholics. My mother owned bars, and I would have to work at them sometimes. It's like I just didn't want that lifestyle for me. I would see people literally falling over drunk, and it's like I want to keep my senses about me.
So I want to thank you guys for coming up here.
It's 8:45.
It's 8:45.
Dude, it's 8:37. We still want to talk. You still want to talk?
I mean,
I haven't seen y'all like in a week.
we can continue this conversation on our podcast.
Yes, we got it.
Okay. So let's put that plug in too. Look, we have a podcast that we're gonna start posting pretty much every week.
We have been.
But we've been posting every week.
We would have posted one this week, but somebody had to go to church Sunday.
Sorry, you see, it was Ash Wednesday
How could it be Ash Wednesday on Sunday?
again. So
Yeah.
this week, the Archbishop sent out pretty much a memo saying we're not gonna have Ash Wednesday. Y'all can do it on Sunday. So I had to go to church on Sunday and get my ashes. So we weren't able to do a podcast.
Huh? Did we have one to post? We had one to post last week when we were. No.
Thanks a lot.
What? We could do one right after this and continue this.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. As Santiago said, we do have a podcast. It's available on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcast. I just got it on Amazon. Jace will be putting the link on the Facebook in just a second. If you do
Well, a couple hours.
listen to it, please follow and like it so that way more people can find it and listen to it as well. Also share it to whomever you want to share it with. We get down and dirty, we talk about everything and anything, and nothing is a secret. So you will find out things about us that even these people probably don't even know until they hear it right then and there. So we
But
hope
they
you guys-
swear they'll never tell.
we hope you guys listen to it.
Don't tell anybody.
You did bring up, okay, so last week we didn't do a show because of the weather. And because we were in Texas, San Antonio, it did affect a lot of us. Some of us did not have water, or some of us did not have electricity for a few days and everything. But nobody cares about you. But, we all pretty much heard, but we are glad that everybody's safe. We did reach out to a few people, and a lot of people did reach out to us and make sure we're okay too. We thank you for your concern and everything. We're here, like we said numerous times, we're here for you. If you need to talk, hit us up. Some people have been hitting me up on, I would say Grindr, but I was talking about Facebook Messenger, which is good. You have questions for us? Hit us up, and that way we can discuss it, as we did today with one of our clients. But we all love you. We all miss you. We're glad that everybody's okay and nothing happened to anybody.
And we're slowly trickling in members, so if you guys are interested in coming to be here in person, by all means, get with Marc or any one of us, and we can see about squeezing you in. We would love to see you all.
I think we had 4 or 5 join us today.
We had about 5 members join us today, so it was great to see them in person, and we hope to see more of you guys. We wish you a good night, and we love you.
One more thing before.
Yes.
On what was the date? Do you remember?
April 10th.
April 10th, here at One on Point, we're gonna be having a drag show. The members of Living Positive will be in it. We will not be in drag, but we'll be doing the Village People. Some of the guys will be doing the Village People, YMCA, and I will be performing with Gilbert. I do not know yet what we're performing, but we will be performing also.
Yeah, the air supply.
My heart will go on.
But Jason.
Yeah, just one last thing that, I think it has been posted before, but, because of last week, we have been declared one of the counties in Texas as a disaster area. So we will post that link for people who maybe need disaster assistance.
Yes, and
Oh, yeah, there was a link for FEMA.
thank
Yeah.
thank Renee for giving us that info.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also, and if it's just food, you could go to mytexasbenefits.com and apply under SNAP-D, D meaning disaster.
Yeah, they give you this like little form thing, right, and you can't download it.
So, thank you.
There is 211, it says on the website that it's in that
Don't forget about our Cash App. Oh, you want to donate money?
Cash App and GoFundMe both.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
We'll be posting the Cash App tonight again, and the GoFundMe is out right now. If you guys want to help us keep going, please do help us out and do share the Cash App out.
Every little bit helps.
Yes,
Share the Cash App, share the GoFundMe. If you can give.
yes. Thank you,